Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we're about to get started. We're going to be talking about it. This is a good topic, and I mod for him. This is Real's twin, and I've been following him for not too long ago, but one thing about it is that he brings up a lot of interesting points. Some of the points that he I bring up as well, and things. So obviously he's also a MAGA Republican like myself and things. So he's out of, I believe it's Philadelphia, but originally from New York. I was born in Brooklyn, but lived in Detroit. So, but other than that, though, the message is quite clear. And this is they try to have a discussion. He has it labeled here, unity or division, exploring racism towards black conservatives. So every time we try to have a conversation with black people, and again, we all don't agree on everything, and especially with Republican, Democrat. The MAGA Republicans, a lot of Democrats, blacks, really don't understand what's really going on. They really don't. They look at the MAGA Republicans as nothing more than sellouts, bigots, racists towards their own people. They don't understand, because they've been programmed for so long accepting being Democrat. It's like being Democrat to blacks is synonymous. It's like this is all they know. They've been voting Democrat all their life. And they watch the media, and again, propaganda works because they have demonized President Trump, that he's been victimized, demonized, shouted down, as well as they tried to arrest him. He's been indicted 34 times. That's been turned over. Everything they tried to accuse him of, it has not worked. He hasn't been thrown in jail. And Russia, they claimed him for being a Russian spy as well. Hush money with Stormy Daniels as well. All these things in Trump still prevail. And this is a feat in itself, because many people said that Trump would never be president. It would never happen, including Obama. They laughed at him in the Democratic Party. They thought this guy was a joke. But as he started gaining momentum, because again, Trump's policy is all about common sense. And again, because people, in this country, black people in America have gotten spoiled of having a black president that is so smooth talking, right? I mean, the guy is very smooth, charismatic. Hey, how you doing? Hello, Chicago. It's that charisma type of thing. So anybody else that came behind Obama is like considered racist. Now, Trump has always been a type that speaks his mind. When he was Democrat, he always spoke his mind. He was the same way. He was a Democrat. When he's starting to donate a lot of money to the Democratic Party, nobody said nothing. It was all good. Even Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, and all the rest of them, right? Al Sharpton, right? NAACP, all these organizations and groups kissed his ass for the money. And he funded a lot of them. Trump did a lot of good for people too. But a lot of blacks don't know this, right? It's like they have gotten amnesia, including the rappers. A lot of these rappers and stuff like that, when you start thinking about the rappers, a lot of them rocked with Trump. WWF, WWE, a lot of people rock with Trump. This guy here was a national treasure until he decided to run Republican. As soon as he did that, the Democrats turned on him like they always do, because they turn on each other too, and blacks included. So we're gonna play the video in a minute. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of information here. I like this guy here. When I first ran across his feed, And he was making a lot of sense. Mass deportation, same stuff that I was talking about. He's one of the few black men that I have ever seen. There's a couple of other ones that wear Make America Great Again cap, and that is a feat in itself. He has relatives that's Republican, MAGA Republicans as well. There is a difference. But trying to explain this to blacks that are, let's say, not on the Trump train, it's they can look at it as a slap in the face and being a sellout. I got friends, I got family members. Soon as you tell them that you're a MAGA Republican, oh, here we go. It's like fireworks, because they've been used to doing the same thing, voted over 60 years plus. And look at the communities, look at the disparity, look at the number one thing, and as I mentioned earlier, in the so-called black community, because it's not a community anymore. What makes a community, you have the father and the mother. The number one thing in the so-called black community that we suffer from is the lack of accountability and responsibility. And I have always said that. It's the number one thing. And with the Democratic Party that made it too lenient, they have gave, let's say, certain amount of blacks these set-aside programs, which is welfare, which is one of them, which started in 1965, and it was actually, let's say, voted in, and it was a bill passed in 65 called the Welfare Act of 1965 under Lyndon B. Johnson. This is what destroyed our community. It separated us, man and woman. Black women got away from black men when they started getting these welfare checks and was put up in Section 8 housing and everything. You know, that still exists today. Look at it. It has been at least 3 generations since we've been up under this. See, and the thing about it is that when you start giving blacks trinkets and trash or set aside programs, they get lazy, right? They don't want to get out here and fight and compete like everybody else do. They use racism all the time as an excuse and things to be a piece of shit in your community, and then blame it on racism, have shitty ass credit and blame racism. And this is why I say, and I say it again, blacks, the majority of blacks suffer from the lack of accountability and responsibility. It's only a small percent of blacks that are, let's say, what I would say is that responsible, accountable, and not many. Most of them have a reputation of being, let's say, not on time, late on everything, lazy, blaming others constantly, racism constantly, right? No accountability, as I mentioned before. No responsibility, as I mentioned before. And they expect to get a pass for this foolishness. And another thing is that you also have these poor black leaders as well, because a lot of them are not telling the truth. They're pacifying blacks, and we already know why they're doing it, because they can get the check. They can get the bag, as the young people say, right? And this is exactly what it is. They go away with the bag every single time. All they got to do is kiss up to black women, shout down, and blame everything on black men. And it's just a perpetuating thing. This is another reason why nothing ever gets done. These dilapidated neighborhoods, underserved communities, as well as disenfranchisement. And when you really look at this type of stuff, who you think this stuff is happening? You know, and then you want to shout out Black Lives Matters. If Black life really matters, ladies and gentlemen, who should it matters the most? Because if you're trying to get other people to recognize your struggle, everybody looking at you like boo-boo the fool. They really are. Because if you haven't been smart enough to take responsibility of your own actions and get out here and make something of yourself, then you deserve everything you're getting. You know, you deserve everything, all this racism stuff. And that's why I say I got to make a video on this, because I am at the point trying to talk with hard-headed, stiff-necked ass black folk that still believe in the boogeyman, which is racism. They still believe in this nonsense while everybody else is coming over here getting the bag. It's ridiculous. This is one of the main reasons, though. It's frustrating trying to have a conversation and trying to be logic and trying to, you get too many people. You can't even get another person that happen to disagree. We don't respect each other, even when we're trying to conversate. Look at you. I'm gonna play this, and you're gonna hear what I'm talking about. Black folks, when they're triggered, they have a tendency of talking over people, right? Not allowing the other person's, you're supposed to sit there and be quiet until the person finish talking. This is how you have a conversation. But see, niggas don't like conversation. They don't like it. Every time, and most of the people that I've seen, and not just on this show, I'm talking about people in general, niggas don't like to have a conversation. Niggas grandstand, right? Over talk, try to get their point, try to, project and all this other kind of stuff. This is why it just looks foolish. Because if there's two people, it just turns into an argument. Guess what I do? Turn it off. Because you drown out the other person. You want to hear. It's not even a conversation. Every other civilized person hold their thought, whether if they don't agree. If you don't agree, what's the big deal? Just relax. But, niggas can't do that. So let's go ahead and play this. And I want to show you guys.
Oh, it's systemic racism. Systemic racism does not exist in this country anymore. It's a fallacy. It's a fallacy. Yeah, they won't even cooperate to solve the crime. They won't even cooperate to solve the crime. I want a national stop and frisk. I want President Trump to sign a national stop and frisk. Get these niggas off the street. Get these niggas off the street. Cause we ain't safe out here. We ain't safe out here.
Now I'm gonna ask you guys this. What was wrong with this statement this brother was saying? Because when you really think about it, he's telling the truth. A lot of y'all black folks, y'all know damn well that y'all don't rock with niggas. I don't rock with niggas. So you want to act like you want a vanguard now? Everybody is not a nigga. There's a difference. Chris Rock explained that very well. If y'all haven't watched his stand-up comedy, he explained the difference between the two. And if you identify with a nigga, then hey, I don't identify with a nigga, but we understand. Niggas will steal from one another. Niggas will kill one another. Niggas always late. Niggas always got an excuse. Niggas hate knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Right off the bat. So this brother ain't lying. I think there should be a national stop and frisk. Because if you a nigga, you're triggered and bothered by that. I'm not bothered by no stop and frisk. I'm not out here doing doing anything wrong. I don't need to be afraid of the police. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I've been driving. I'm even an Uber driver. I'm more in the streets than any damn body. You know how many times and hours I drive? I drive far more than the average person drive. I'm everywhere, all up day or at night. Why I'm not getting pulled over, right? Why am I not doing this, right? If this police brutality happens, we're not saying it doesn't happen, but it happened to be small minority numbers. The number one thing with black people is black on black crime. Niggas would vamp on a black person far faster than a non-black person. You know why? Because with a non-black person, they know that the police is coming. They know they're going to be looking for that person. It brings more of the heat. With black on black people, they just chalk it up as a homicide. You know I'm telling the truth. So let's go ahead and begin.
Likely to be gunned down by someone who looked like us. There is no debate. These niggas are animalistic. What is it to debate about? These niggas it go from grand opening to grand closing. Literally. So I'm sitting up here. I'm really appalled at the fact that you guys say that systemic racism. There ain't no more systemic racism. Exists in America. No, it doesn't.
Now, one of my only critique on his show, and I do, I like the brother, is that I think this is a relative person in the background, but you got to show some type of little bit of decor to let the brother speak, because again, we shouldn't have to be feeling triggered at all. If you stand on truth, let the other person speak anyway, right? That's no problem. Let that other person speak, because once again, he has the show. This is his show, just like I have my show, right? I don't have to be up in arms because somebody doesn't agree with me. I'm going to let him talk, because one thing about it, I'm going to listen to what he got to say. Already off the bat, you heard what that brother said? He said, I am appalled, right? In other words, I'm really, really disgusted to see two black people representing Trump, translation, wearing the MAGA cap, talking like this. Black folks are shocked, and they shouldn't be. You mean to tell me that you are shocked about another black person talking about the problems in the community? Nobody else called this out, but now this is a problem. When the black on black crime, as you just heard this gentleman say, when it's a black on black crime issue, nobody black, no Vanguard, no marching in the street, no BLM, none of this stuff. None of it. So something is hypocritical. And I'm just saying, this is a very, very hypocritical thing. The brother starts off by saying that he was appalled. What he should be appalled is about the devastation, the destruction in our own black communities right across the United States, in these 10 major cities across the United States that have been suffering and riddled with crime, violence, drugs, everything that you can think of, gang activity, but business as usual. I move out in the suburbs. I'm okay, which is nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, nobody in the so-called black community is standing up for this BS bullshit that we're talking about here. It's like that gets swept to the side. All this attention goes on a white boy on the subway train. Instead of this attention should have been main attention from the community up to the so-called leaders. And not one of you addressed this. That's why I call y'all nothing but a honeycomb of hypocrites. Straight like that. I don't rock with the hypocrisy. That's why I always encourage people, whenever you can get some money, get the hell out of the black community. Because if they're not calling this shit out, ain't no sense of trying to be in that cultish state of mind, that sickness. Every time you talk about black people, they want to derail it, and it's like a broken record. They always want to go in the origin about black folks and all this other stuff, and the racism. That's why we here now. They make that sound like we're just stuck here being niggas. It makes no sense. Let's go ahead and continue.
Don't put yourself through any more terror. Yes. Don't do it. Leave. I think that's disingenuous. How is it disingenuous? Listen, the racism, there's systemic racism. Y'all gonna let me respond? Yeah. Y'all gonna let me speak, or y'all just go ahead, speak. I mean, well, could you put a leash on the person in the bottom box?
And see, and that's another thing. He shouldn't have said that either. See, this is what I'm saying. Black folks don't get along with each other. We know this, right? He's telling a woman, black woman at that, to put a leash on her. You know? See, and this is the thing about it. This is why we can never get anywhere, right? That's what I'm saying. We can never get anywhere. We can never get anywhere. Put a leash on and all this other nonsense. We can never get anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. And as long as this type of stuff continues, that's why I say I won't have the conversations. I'm not going to do live when I have niggas up here, because I've seen this before. And niggas will tear down your channel, man. And that's why I say I'd rather make this as a video, just kind of using this as a guide in regards to the state of as to what we're in. And you're seeing it, people call on the show. And like I said, I'm talking about disingenuous. When they're, again, this brother right here, Reels, he's citing out a problem. And he cited out many problems in the country as well. Mass deportation, a lot of the problems that the Democrats and some of these regular uniparty rhino Republicans that we don't even rock with, because the MAGA people, the MAGA Republicans have taken over. There's no rhino Republicans running Jack-ish today. So you can't paint us with the same brush, even though a lot of these niggas try to, because the niggas don't educate themselves. The niggas hate responsibility. The niggas always have an excuse. Niggas can't even have a decent conversation. Where you have black folks and you have niggas. There is a difference, though, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why I said I'm going to make this as a video versus doing a live on this type of stuff, right? Because I'm just going to get to my point. But let this play on.
Let's go. But what's ignorant about black people? That they shooting up the neighborhood every day? I can show you. I don't even have to watch the news. I know somebody got shot tonight. I just know somebody got shot tonight.
Okay, so allow me. If somebody would shot a black woman when they kill her baby. Allow me to speak, please.
All right, get speak.
What I'm saying is, I think that, it's disingenuous to say that we should leave this country. First and foremost, we were born here. This country was.
But if it's a racist country, why would you want to be in a racist?
All right, let me go ahead and stop this again, though, because really this brother should be having a conversation right now, because when you got two people, it get a little chaotic and things. I tried to let my friend see it. He stopped it immediately. He couldn't take it, because it's yeah. That's what it sounds like in the, no disrespects to the sister, but had it would have been me, I would have made sure, let me, and then you can chime in. I mean, this is what civilized people do. We have to learn a little bit of respecting each other. We ain't gotta like each other, but we can at least come to some type of common ground to learn to respect one another. I never said about liking. You don't have to like anybody to respect somebody, man. Let's get that out the way right now. Black folks, once again, niggas especially, they get in the frame of mind that you got to like people in order to respect them. That's not true. You don't have to like people to respect people. It's people out there I respect, but I don't like. And that's when it come down to some black people, and especially niggas, they can't seem to they don't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with women. Because again, they lead with their emotions, And this is the problem here with the young lady. She leads with her emotions and stuff. The logic thing is that we're having a conversation. In a conversation, I would have let the brother speak. The brother's slow speaking brother, mild speaking brother, but at the same time, excuse me, he gotten upset because he lost his patience, because all he heard coming from the background, especially, he feels like he was being gaslighted. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it. Now, the common thing that you hear, a lot of black people, niggas too, they love throwing this out, that America is this racist ass country where black folks are denied opportunity, right? So what this brother right here was saying, what Reels was saying, is why don't you leave and go to another country? And then you always hear this same narrative coming from black folks, pro-blacks. My family lived here. We ain't going nowhere. It's only logical where if there's a place that you're not doing well at, you may want to go somewhere else. But what they do is that they wallow. They want to stay here. They don't want to go to Africa. A lot of these pro-black Negroes, they don't want to go to Africa. They say, hell no. They don't want to go to Africa. Why not? If you ever ask them why they don't want to go to Africa, you know what they're going to give you the excuse? They're always going to say, my family, my people died here in America. No, why don't you go to Africa, though? Because if Africa is so beautiful, right, and so open for everybody, why don't you go there? That's the thing about it. But you know what? They always say the same old narrative, man. Same old thing. They don't want to go to Africa at all. They want to be here. And they love to just blame everything on racism. So therefore, it lift the responsibility off of black Negroes not to achieve and want better. Niggas have made it off of DEI, which means didn't earn it. All it is rehash affirmative action. I've never been a fan of it. It's like saying black folks are dumb and stupid, so we got to have a crutch because of our skin color. And it shouldn't have never been about skin color. It's about making it on your merit. If you don't think that you're smart enough to compete with other people, well, why don't you just step aside then? Stop blaming other people, right? What, are you scared to compete? Reparations is not coming, ladies and gentlemen. So you may as well get that out your head. You never got it. And if it was going to be given, it should have been given after, 1866. That's where reparations should have been given. But the black folks was too stupid to demand it back then. So why are we going to get it now? You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. I guarantee you won't get it. Now, I'm saying that now, right? You won't get it. Stop relying on that and get your ass out here and compete. And stop acting like a victim. Let's go ahead and continue the video.
I'm not even done. Cause y'all, what the fuck? Y'all supposed to be educated. Y'all supposed to be educated. If you are oppressed here, get the fuck out. Why stay here and suffer? At the end of the day, I'm not going anywhere. This country was built off of backs.
Here we go. This country is built off the back of my ancestors. Here we go. See? See?
Until black people could record a
that's not evident.
Like black women killing their kids, that crime of murdering a child? Now you are deflecting, right?
Now she hit him with a very, very good point, and he didn't have a rebuttal against it. I'm talking about the lady in the background. I think that's a relative of Reels, but she hit him with a very, very heavy hitting question. The question was, we're talking about the black murder rate, right? With black, when it comes down to black women, which is abortion. The abortion is well over 1 million plus, probably 2 million, somewhere around there. Black women abort their child at an alarming rate. And she hit him with that fact. And you know what? He didn't have a rebuttal, but all he can say is she's deflecting. Even though it sounds like it's a little chaotic way this conversation is going, but the questions, I really wish that this would have been more controlled, because the questions that she hit him with effed him up. He didn't have, and this is the thing, they don't even know what a deflection really means. She just hit him with a question, and then he didn't have an answer for it. So you know what they go and do? You're deflecting. I done had these conversations with niggas before, black folks as well. The ones that want to act like they're vanguards for the black community, never been about that life, never cared about black on black death until somebody white do something dumb or stupid in so many cases. That's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, it's far just from being disingenuous. It's a big waste of time, because you're never going to get anywhere with these fucking black nigga liberals, especially the men, which I said before in my lives. I have no respect for no whining, bratty, bitchy ass black man that's a liberal, or heterosexual men in general. Because what are they benefiting from? They're not part of the LGBTQ community where they get set asides. They're not women. They don't qualify for Title IX, and and then you don't qualify for DEI. So what would be the point of being a black liberal? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Anybody that got a liberal next to their name, I look at that person with side eye. Because a lot of them just really feminine, come from single families, most of them, especially in the black community. Soy boy, take their marching orders from black women because, a lot of them wasn't raised with their fathers. I get it. I understand. But at a certain point, logic has to take over. And she hit his ass with that, oh, you're deflecting now. You're deflecting. He doesn't even know. That's one thing about it. He knew, but he didn't have an answer. That's why he brought that up. That's just supposed to back her off of him and say, well, you're deflecting. You're deflecting. He never answered the question. She asked him, how is it that black women that murder their children, in other words, at an alarming rate, and none of these black Negroes are doing anything about it? That's pretty much what the question was. Let's go on and continue. See, that's the thing about it. He will not answer the question. She's asking him the question. In other words, should black women be charged for murdering their child, basically, right? Should they be charged for murder, right? That was the question. He can answer the fucking question. That's why I say I'm not going to play this whole video out, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to give a little bit to kind of put my thoughts on it as well. And I'm going to do this with other things too to kind of change some things up, change some of the narratives up and things. I know he doesn't mind me doing this. I'm sure he doesn't. But other than that, this is the thing. Once again, there's a serious problem in the so-called black community. And that problem is that we have the lack of accountability and responsibility, thus allow and cause the problems, which is the black on black death with abortion, right? That's the number one killer, not gun violence. The abortion, that's the number one thing. Number two, the lack of fathers in the home. That's the second problem right there. Those are the two major problems right there. This is why the children, they don't know about a man being in the home. This is a major problem for the boys as well as for the girls. The girls grow up masculine. The males grow up feminine. Okay? Black women as a whole are very afraid of their sons when they go out. A man would show her son and his son how to handle himself when he's out here, when he reach adulthood, to be a law-abiding citizen, to show honor, respect, and also protect, as well as to learn to be a provider, a protector. And are they learning how to do this? No. You can't learn. A woman can never teach a boy how to be a man. It takes a man to raise a man. You can't do that, ladies. You can only nurture your boy for so long. After 5, 6 years old, you're supposed to give him over to daddy. But a lot of y'all don't because, daddy ain't in the home. And that's a personal problem that y'all have to deal with that. These are the issues that should be addressed in the black community. Since they're not, this is why we're failing as a people. We're not winning. We're failing. The blacks that have gravitated and saying, I'm voting Republican, I'm voting MAGA. You know what that means? They are tired of dealing with niggas in their community. They're tired of all these crime, violence, drugs. They're tired of this stuff. So when the deportation happens, and once that is done, it's going to be open season for these niggas out here too. It ain't going to be the same way. Not under Trump's administration. Y'all niggas are under a, let's say, it's only a certain amount of time. Because this is when he said, make America safe again. Your Bloods and Crips and all these other gangs, you guys are just going to be a remembrance of a memory, though, when Trump gets finished with you guys. Believe that. This ain't going to continue on. Not under his administration. That's why when we said that the Democrats allowed this shit to happen. The MAGA Republicans are going to fix the problem. And that's why they said stop and frisk and a lot of other things that's going to be coming. So if all you got to worry about is not to be on that list. If you're a law-abiding citizen, let that carry over for itself. You see, if you can't be a law-abiding citizen and you got to worry about the police and getting pulled over and all that stuff, then, hey, I don't worry about that. You think I worry about the police? I have done nothing wrong. Why should I worry about the police? Why should I worry about getting pulled over? Why should I have to worry about this type of stuff? You worry about that stuff, ladies and gentlemen, when you're doing shit and into shit. I'm not into shit. I'm an Uber driver. I'm not out here causing myself and being a menace. Only a menace fear the police and all the rest of this stuff, right? So other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, this thing here, and like I said, I understand why people want to have these conversations. I don't like having conversations with black folks, and especially niggas, because we don't respect each other. And I listen to watched a lot of these YouTube, man, it's bad though. But he does some pretty good stuff. You guys should follow him. Reels Twins, you guys should follow him and things. He got a lot of great stuff to talk about, And his thing is right here, which I meant to like his. Let me go ahead and do that. Yeah, I did already earlier this morning. Because I watched this earlier this morning. And see, I made a comment right here. This is what I made right here. Yeah, there's a comment right here. I said the number one problem in the so-called black community is the lack of accountability and responsibility, period, which produce victim mentality, right? I said, I enjoy your channel. Keep cooking them. This is what I said on the right down here. Yeah, right down here. This is exactly what I said, which is true. So they're upset about this stuff. They're the ones that are upset. Niggas especially are upset because remember I said before, niggas hate accountability and niggas love being a victim. Hate accountability, a victim. This is the thing. Always about white folks. Like I said before, I won't let them talk about whites or nobody else. But I'm so out of that right now because it's a big waste of time. Black folks, you have to separate yourselves. MAGA, you have to separate yourselves, man. We have to get in our own communities, and that's where you're going to prosper. Later for these deadhead niggas, man, it's no use of interacting with them and dealing with them. It's just no use. You're just wasting your time. You're just spinning wheels. You just, whistling in the dark. It's not going to change a damn thing. Let these niggas die in their own ignorance, right? Maybe a couple of 100 years, 200 years, maybe they'll change or whatever. But like I said, I'm not holding my breath. I'm moving on, I like talking about what Trump is doing, a lot of his policies. I may touch on something like this every blue moon, but I don't do this black stuff often, right? Because like I said, it's going to spark into an argument. People's feelings are going to get hurt. And they just love wallowing in their own victimhood. And that's what we have to understand. As MAGA Republicans, we have to move on. Leave these niggas alone. If they want to rock and be liberal, let them stay in their own misery. And that's including family too. I don't give a fuck. Because this is saving the country and bringing back what we call morality, bringing back some spirituality, having someplace decent to live without being overran by niggerdom and crime and violence and everything like that, destroying the neighborhood. And what I know Trump going to pretty much round these niggas up once we get the deportation out the way. That's going to set a message, right? Because these niggas need to be rounded up. That's creating this black on black crime. They need, and whatever the penalty in that state, whether it's a death penalty, lethal injection, these things have to happen to set a message for these niggas, right? So don't go crying about the niggas now. You never gave a damn about the niggas. Niggas don't give a damn about niggas, right? I mean, black folks, let alone niggas. Let's keep it real. I know you think I give a damn about niggas. I'm trying, not trying to. I stay away from niggas. I stay away from niggas. Nothing good can come from hanging around niggas. You're going to have to change your friends. You're going to have to change a lot of things. Nothing's going to come good hanging around a bunch of niggas. Dead niggas. Always complaining. No good ass niggas, right? That's what it is. You're going to have to do a lot of different things, though, Because if these pro-blacks had all the answers and stuff, we wouldn't have problems in the community. They failed. It's just a money grab for them. They don't care about these niggas either. It's just bullshit. The jig is up. The gig is up. The jig is up, as they say. All right, so other than that, though, I'm going to play a little bit more and then I'm gone.
I never said that we black people don't have an internal issue, but to say that racism or against black people don't exist, you have to be a complete fucking moron. Oh no, it definitely exists.
Yeah, this is so sad. This young brother believes that racism is still the same old. It's the same old trope, man. The racism. If anybody that's been racist towards black folks have been the Democratic Party. Let's just keep it 100, right? If you want to go there, if he would have asked me this question, this was what I would have said, right? A lot to do with the Democratic elites, right? Which is welfare. They gave us redlining, slavery, Ku Klux Klan. We can go on and name it. We can identify who these people are. These are your liberals, right? Your white liberals, okay? These are the ones a long time ago that set this stuff up. And they still are the descendants of these children that were the ones for slavery and Ku Klux Klan and all this other stuff. I ain't got no problems admitting that. But right now, you have opportunity out here today. It's just that a lot of these blacks don't realize that. They still repeating the same old stuff that 2 generations ago still repeating. Well, yeah, racism, synthetic racism. This is the reason why they love putting titles on shit to justify why they can't compete and get along. This is bullshit. Modern day blacks are not used to competing, plain and simple. They're not. You got to get out here and compete. But they don't want to do it. That's why critical race theory is gone too. All of these so-called movements are gone. You ain't going to have nothing. So like I said, you better learn to adapt or die. I thank you guys for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video or live. I am out. My links are down below too, so be sure to follow me there. Sub for me as well. Give me some thumbs up, please. The more thumbs up I can get, the better it is, though. I'd like to give a shout out to Omega. I'd like to give a shout out to Sherry and John as well. and like Holly, yeah, I got a few people that follow me and building up a small following. I appreciate you guys, though. I'm going to get back on you, though, you know. Other than that, though, yeah, I'm going to talk about some other things and things like that. We're going to be talking about, the next one I'm going to talk about is these people that have switched over on the MAGA side. I think I touched on it before. I don't trust these people. We're going to talk about it on my next live. Peace.